And I would say that like I had most of my crisis during those like early stages. And I think that in some way almost helped me with my return to play. I think like the fact that I kind of had to face those demons a little bit and acknowledge like, whoa, you gotta at least understand that there is more to any individual or athlete than just the performance that they're putting out. And then almost in some way, and I think this may be going back to the high performance mindset, which I'm sure we'll touch on a lot, was okay, how do I now use this almost as my advantage, right? Like this is something that's now completely changing my perspective that I wouldn't have otherwise if I didn't experience this injury. Like I couldn't make up those feelings or emotions or experiences without, whether it be retiring or having a severe injury or something like that. So it's like, okay, what can I use to make this an advantage? And that was kind of the progression of these different breakdowns throughout the early phases of the injury. And then as I was going back to play, I was more in that mind frame. And it was funny because I still remember went back, hadn't touched the volleyball in, I don't know what it was, 10 months, something like that. We had our first training. It actually felt like, okay, at that time too, I was really trying to visualize as much as I can. I was really trying to like get my headspace around, okay, we're going to go back. And also not only for the fact that I could perform, but for the fact that my body would like trust me or move how I want it to move or anything like that, right? I was definitely trying to practice visualization in a few different ways. And then I think it was the second day we brought out like the setting targets, basically super simple, kind of looks like a basketball hoop, but it's kind of horizontal to you. And it's just, you set it in the target. It's a decent training tool, but it's also not one that, when you're setting somebody, they're typically moving. So I rarely put that much, I guess, value on how that goes. But I still remember coaches tossed me ball and I like 5 in a row, I put it through the hoop. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, look at me, I'm so good, because I probably wouldn't have done 5 in a row when we were going to world championships, you know what I mean? So all of a sudden I put 5 in a row and I'm like, well, that's interesting that I had such a different expectation of the outcome and haven't played in a while, but was also practicing these visualization kind of techniques. I was like, whoa, there's something in there that can be utilized more than I've been utilizing it. And I think a lot of us as high performers, the day-to-day kind of grind is such a necessity. Like you need those repetitions, you need those motor learning moments. But I think a lot of people would have thought, oh, taking 10 months off is foolish. Like you will only get so much worse. And obviously in a lot of ways I did, like your physiology changes, things change. But the muscle memory of doing what I did for a living didn't go away in 10 months, nor do I think it would go away in 6 months or 2 months, or right. And I think that was an interesting realization where I went in with more personal confidence, right? Obviously less as an athlete because sorry, my thing keeps slipping. Less as an athlete because I didn't have the day-to-day reminder that I can still do this. So I had to grab that from somewhere else. That plus the personal confidence, plus the not lack of expectations, but change of my evaluation of those expectations. And then it kind of went well, and then we'd have practices and I was playing pretty well and everything was going kind of normal. And I was like, this is another kind of mind twist because I have been taught that, any time off is going to lead to a huge lack in performance on return. And I think that's allowed me to reframe what my athlete confidence looks like or what that confidence looks like, and appreciate it in a different way.